What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the Collective Clips where you already know we get it in. But before we get it in, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Ding! Put your notification bell on also. That way you're directed in the direction of the dope content I'm kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support. We're going up on this channel and it's all because of you. And I appreciate that, man. And I'm very humbled. Fucking Adam. Right? We're going to just get right to it. Raw and uncut. Wow, he allowed Bricc baby to spaz out. A lot of people are saying crash out. I understand the wordplay, but spaz out is more correct. That Vato right there got frustrated. He wasn't going to take it no more like a Twisted Sister song. He was just tired. And I can understand when everyone's on your head, when all the haters are coming out and they're attacking you, man, you have to defend yourself. You know, but where was his antennas when them Vatos pulled up to no jumper, right? You know, if you're inside occupying a space, man, and people pull up and want to talk and want to discuss something, you got individuals in there with you that I'm sure will come out. It's funny because when Lush pulled up, everybody ran out there real quick with Almighty, right, to see what was going to happen. Again, for viewing purposes only, right? But when them guys pulled up and knocked on the door, just like when Milk 74 pulled up for Adam, just like when American Cholo pulled up, just like when Jay Diggs pulled up, a lot of these guys, you hear that? Those are birds chirping and crickets twerking. That's what it was. You could literally hear the cockroaches running around the No Jumper podcast because it got very quiet. Okay, so I understand, and I'm not going to sit here and shit on the man Bricc baby and say he was scared. He just didn't make his presence felt. He didn't come out. Okay, but he came out of his shell the other day on the podcast and started screaming on 6-0 cuz he was mad. He was spazzing out. He was crashing out. And he was accusing everybody and anybody of defecating on his character and what they would and would not do. First and foremost, you don't dry snitch on yourself talking about on the internet what you will do. You just do it or you don't. Plain and simple, period, right? A lot of us that have been incarcerated or been in gangs around the streets know enough to say, you know, you don't talk about it, you just handle it or you don't. It doesn't make you any less of a man either way. Okay, what makes you less of a man is talking about the bullshit after the fact. That's when people start to test your credibility on the streets. Just because you're from a certain neighborhood that is a very notorious neighborhood, and we're going to get to all that right now on Power, right? Just because you're from a certain neighborhood that is notorious, does have a reputation, does have a foundation and a flag planted, right? Doesn't mean you could run your neck piece. Doesn't mean you automatically got the backup of your homeboys, because sometimes in any case, you have to be a man. You know, in order for the homies to take one for you, you have to take one for them. So you have to take one for yourself. You have to show accountability for your actions. Now, I understand all this bullshit with Bricc baby stems from a simple, disrespectful word that was said by one of his homeboys who he fucks with daily, who he works with, his camarada, his celly, basically, on that podcast, right? Because now that podcast is like a prison fucking podcast. But meanwhile, in the meantime, in between time, yes, DW Flame did say some shit, but it just came out natural, bro. I've heard plenty of guys disrespect each other, Crips and Bloods, and then say, excuse me, my bad, brother, it wasn't like that. You know, it just comes natural. And they said, ain't no thing. I think individuals chose to go in hardcore on Bricc baby because they see him as a sucker. Straight up. A lot of people talk a lot of shit about Bricc baby. I don't know this guy from a fucking cup of spilt chanate, but what I do know at the end of the day is he is on a podcast. There are a lot of people that are envious. A lot of people want to play his position and they think they could do it better than he can. Now, whether these two individuals that pulled up to No Jumper were doing it for clout or doing it on some real life shit, it looked real to me. I'm just going to be honest with you. And I can understand Bricc baby not stepping out into that jungle, homie, because he didn't want to get tiger-fied, right? I can understand it. But then what I can't understand is him going crazy on the podcast a few days later, and blaming everybody like it was their fault. Ultimately, you have to ride your own beef, homie. Summer sausage. Ultimately, you have to have some accountability for yourself. And whether you're in the streets or you're not in the streets, just be yourself, man. That's just what it is, right? Now, I've been told many times, stay out of black business, gun. Well, once the business is put on No Jumper, it's now become everybody's business, right? What I am upset about in this whole situation, I'm not even upset, I'm just laughing, right? I'm on the sidelines on the meantime, in between time. But what I noticed and my take on the situation was that Adam, you know, let this individual spaz out and was quick to drop the material, quick to drop the content, the video. This should have never went out to the public. This should have been cut off right there at the throat. This should have never hit the airwaves, because all it did was quite possibly cause some tension between some real life gang members. Okay, when did No Jumper become a political gang member type podcast? When did it become everybody's dirty laundry is getting aired out on the streets? When did it become a situation where people could actually fucking dry snitch and talk shit to each other through the airwaves? This shit right here is ridiculous. Okay, when you're a real gangster and you're really doing things in the water, the hood, the turf, whatever it is, zipper. Not the fucking ride at the fair, but the real life zipper, okay? Not the one on your silver tabs, but the real life shit, right? You need to be quiet, because anything you say will be used against you. Best believe there's law enforcement and a lot of other individuals that watch these shows, that watch these podcasts, because they're trying to gain knowledge you can't get in college. They're trying to get information. And when you're just putting it out there for them, talking about what you will and won't do, come on now, bro, stop it. You're just as bad as the guy you're pulling paperwork on, because you're doing it right there in real time. Okay, all that pull up right now, we could deal with this right now. You weren't saying that 4 days ago, okay? There was none of that. So stop it already. You know, I don't know if Bricc Baby was on dope, if Bricc Baby just couldn't take it no more, if he was just tired of all the insinuations and the bullshit. But I understand his point of view in the situation, but you can't do it the way you done it. And Adam cannot allow that shit to be thrown out there, especially on people that he believes are his employees. Because look, Bricc Baby, at the end of the day, you're not Adam's friend, Holmes. I know you're hugging on him in the thumbnail, trying to lick his earlobe like Melvin did Jody, right? I know there's a lot of things that go on and a lot of pillow talk in between you guys, but at the end of the day, you are not his friend. You're not his camarada, his homeboy, his confidant, his chick. Maybe. None of that. What you are, Holmes, most definitely is his employee. And as his employee, you have rights, and your right is for your boss not to fucking defecate on your character right along with anyone or pump shit up. See, Adam is notorious. We're talking about Adam 16 here. He is notorious for stirring up shit and controversy. I bet you in that No Jumper building, the homeboys, the norteños that walked in there yesterday were like, it smells like fucking mierda in here. Absolutely. There's a lot of shit that goes on there. There's a lot of stirring of the shit that goes on. Okay, street and gang politics are as real as it gets. They're real life. That's why I try to shy away from a lot of the he said, she said, and a lot of the bullshit, you know, like the current news that's coming out with like organizations I don't speak about, because it's none of my business. I tell you mine and my stories only from the past, man. And then I'll tell you a few little things, you know, a few little things, but I won't tell you too much or get involved in any group, prison, organization's business, because it's not mine's. And I shouldn't, right? Same thing with the Crip business, right? It's their business and shouldn't be aired out on the streets. Okay? If Bricc Baby has an issue with these two individuals that pulled up, let that be their issue. We don't need to, everyone doesn't need to be involved in that and see that shit. Because at the end of the day, if it gets tricky, if it gets real, guess what, man? Everybody that seen it, heard it, and knows anything about it, man, is going to be called to the witness stand. And then we're going to find out where motherfuckers' quotas are really at. Absolutely. All that, I'll pull his paperwork. Look at his paperwork. He got paperwork, right? Well, you're going to be on paperwork as well, because you're going to force your hand, Holmes, unless you're a real G at him and you won't say nothing. Come on, I highly doubt it. Speaking of that, I wanted to touch on this issue. We'll get back to the 40s and the 60s, because I have an extensive history of doing time with both these groups, these prison Crips, as well as in the youth authority, these gangs, man. And they're real life. All neighborhood, rich, rolling 60s, the O's, any type of O's that I've ever been around with are with the functions and the activities. So when I see them speaking on podcasts, I'm pretty shocked, right? That they would even go there. But even more so than that, I know, bro, how they deal with how they DP and how they deal with, you know, their gente. They ain't fucking around, bro. It's as real as it gets. Crips are fucking solidified, okay? In and out of prison. Anyways, the other day I'm watching and Chito Ranas was on No Jumper. And hey, shout outs, respects to Chito, doing his thing, dropping his music. I can go without him dissing the dead, man, and disrespecting people's familias, but that's neither here nor there. That's north, south, hood, turf bullshit. Let them do what they does, cuz, right? But here's my thing. Trip out on this, right? Chito's on there smoking his bleezy, just doing his theezy, right? And Adam, instigating ass piece of shit, Adam says, so, what's going on with you and Swifty Blue and that whole situation? First of all, yes, he asked the questions people want to ask themselves. But it's none of his fucking business. Just like people say, stay out of black business, gun, you're brown, that ain't your business. And then the next fucking thing will be like, we're brown too. I don't know, right? I'm all over the place with it. But I understand and I respect it. You know, no disrespect. But Adam, stay the fuck up out of Southsider business. That's it. Stay the fuck up out of brown business. Stay the fuck up out of Swifty Blue and Chito Ranas' friendship. Whether they're cool or they're not, it's none of his business to be asking that question, trying to stir the pot. Oh, he was hoping. He was drooling. He was drooling like it is when he sees his old lady get fucked by a black man. He was drooling, hoping that Chito would say, fuck Swifty, huh? Fuck that vato, right? Oh my God. That shit would have been dropped before the fucking, the video would have been dropped. Poetic Flacco would have been typing away. You know how he does it. But he didn't get that. And I commend Chito for sticking 10 toes down on the concrete, homes, and saying, ah, man, I ain't trying to go there. We ain't even going to speak on that. Whatever is their, if their relationship is fractured as far as friends or homeboys, that's their thing, homes. Stop trying to fucking get conflict stirred and stop trying to fucking find you a soundbite, okay? I understand that's the way you make your money, man. But hey, when you're dealing with people in the streets and we're dealing with real street gang politics, you have to draw the line somewhere, puto. You have to understand, and I'm talking to Adam, not Chito. You have to understand that there's situations you should and shouldn't speak on. Absolutely. That's facts, right? So I seen it. And when I seen it, I said, there we go. Typical Adam trying to stir the pot between two Mexicanos and get this vato to say something and cause a conflict of interest, right? Of course, Chito's laced up in the game, smart enough to understand what that would do, what he's on right now. And he said, I'm not worried about that, Holmes. I'm on me time right now. I said, my energy is on me, which is what it should be. It should have been that the first time, right? But he's realized, he woke up, he's getting it, okay? Adam took the thing when he talked about meeting a vato from 18. And let me explain it to you why Adam did this. He took that clip of Chito talking about the vato that he met from 18, right? In the showers, whatever, and used that as a little short. You want to know why? Here's why. Because he knew about the conflict between 18 and Swifty. He knew that there was some shit going on with the whole King Little G slapping shit and how fucking Swifty pulled up to the 18ers and did what he did and how they were feeling about him. And he knew about all that. So that was another way to instigate that shit. He dropped that clip when actually all Chito was saying is that the vato approached him, hit him up, was good. It was all good. They became camaradas and homeboys. And to this day, they're still doing their thing. They're rocking, right? But Adam wanted to utilize that. That's how much of a shit stir he is. He wanted to utilize that little clip to try to show the correlation with Swifty and some type of dissension. Do you see what I'm doing and see what I'm saying? A blind man could see it. So now, back to the DW Flame incident with Bricc Baby and Bricc Baby crashing out all over the sofa, right? Bricc Baby was on a good one. Now, you don't have to be on drugs to be on a good one, but he was, man, on the dead homies. He put a whole lot of shit on his dead homies. Now, I remember being in the youth authority with 60s, 40s, Crips, A-Tray, Gangsters, Hoovers, when Hoovers still were Crips before they picked up the orange rag and became criminals. I go that far back. I remember Sangres, Bloods, Pyrus, just solid individuals, right? And if you put something on your dead homies, you better be ready to fucking fight, man. If you said fuck someone's dead homies, or you even put it on your dead homies, them were swinging words. Not only were you going to have to deal with the person that you said that to, but you're also going to have to deal with your own car, your own homeboys, because that your dead homies are their dead homies too. See what I'm saying? And some people don't like that shit, man. Don't put that shit on my homies. Put that shit on you. You're the one that fucking let that vato disrespect you. You're the one that needs to handle your business. You know, all this could have been avoided, this whole Bricc Baby bullshit, if he would have just told DW Flame, hey, bro, come on, don't come at me like that. That's simple. Oh, my bad, brother. You know, man, saying, you know what I'm saying? On crib, you know, and it would have been cool. And they'd have been like, damn. But then, of course, Adam would have stirred it up. Bricc Baby checks DW Flame on the fucking, you know what I mean? The same guys that are right there that he's fucking kicking and eating sushi with every day are the same dudes that he'll use as a clip to try to stir bullshit. It's just what he does, man. I don't know how many times I have to tell you that this vato is constantly stirring the pot and showing individualism to certain people at certain times and then later on throwing them under the bus. You see how he constantly does, what's his name, Duno. If you even mention Duno's name in his presence, he has a fat joke. He wants to talk about he's a torta. He's just all kinds of different shit when it comes to Duno. When we all know Duno is what solidified it for the raza, which is brought a whole bunch of raza to him and sat us down, man, to listen to story time on fucking No Jumper podcast. Now that he's not in good, they're not good anymore in the hood anymore. Now it's all of a sudden, fuck that fat boy. Come on now, bro. Don't be mad. Come on, Adam. We see you. Okay, how many times has he constantly brought vatos on that have disrespected Mexicanos or disrespected brothers or disrespected period or dry snitched or said things that they shouldn't have, and everyone gives this guy the pass? Again, I'm not saying don't fuck with it. I'm just saying, man, take a look. Take a look. Don't be shook. Just real life. Bricc Baby is crashing out, and he's blaming Adam, yet hugging on him and calling him dad later on, right? I understand the little 250 you get a week or whatever you get a week, man, might be your only increments, but at the end of the day, is it worth it for your self-worth and your self-respect? Be a man. Look at what Fig and all them cats did, AD and all them, man. They bounced to the ounce like a Zap song and did their own thing, and they're striving and winning. Okay, I'm not trying to stir that bullshit up. I'm just saying, sometimes in this game, you have to go out on your own, man, like a Patti LaBelle song, Mr. Michael McDonald, and do your own shit. Because if you're constantly being ridiculed, being belittled, and being not even a self-servant, but being servant to the massa, right? That motherfucker, Adam, who fucking dictates the whole program, like, hey, Bricc Baby said, he is no jumper. Absolutely. So all the bullshit that started in that fucking room was started and created by him. Let's just keep it real now. Okay? He did a fucking podcast with the Norteños. The Norteños pulled up. Okay? What is that going to cost? I'm so happy that he did open his doors to the Northern cause and allow them to speak theirs and hold it down and tell their side of the story, right? That's cool. Finally, Adam. But at the same time, man, he's going to mark my words, he's going to flip it in reverse. It is worth it. He's going to make sure that he twists this narrative to cause some type of North and South confliction. We already see it coming. We already know. There's already vatos on the internet. Hey, why them fucking busters pull up, homie? That ain't cool, Adam. You can't allow them in the school. There's already all that shit going on. A whole bunch of youngsters with nothing but painted fingernails already going crazy. It's already started, right? When it shouldn't be like that. As the raza, we should understand, Holmes, there's two sides to every coin, and let the vatos do them. Have some respect, for the gente. But it is what it is, man. Again, I respect all sides, man. I'm not involved in that. I'm just calling it as I see it. And again, the center of attention is Adam. So let's get back to Bricc Baby crashing out. The 40s and the 60s are two very notorious Crip gangs, allegedly, right? I've done time with them, and I can tell you this, man. When I was in the youth authority in prison, they were rocking, homie. They were rocking. When their enemies came, they got off where they were mad at. When there was conflict with SAs or NAs or anything, they got off where they was mad at, right? So I have nothing bad to say about the Crip organization. They're with them activities and them shenanigans. So now when you have real gangbanging going on, real hood shit, why would Adam allow Bricc Baby to disrespect like he did? What if something happens? What if something real life happens because of this? People are feeling disrespected right now. People are feeling some type of way. Do you think that's cool to let that shit happen? This guy's supposed to be your boy. You're all fucking licking and hugging on each other on the thumbnail. You gonna let your homeboy crash out like that and get caught up? I'm telling you right now, man, them 40s are sporty, homie. They don't play. None of the O's play. None of the neighborhood Crips play. Believe me, I've done time with real ones. Adam, you've never done no time with real dudes. These dudes that you're bringing on your podcast, I'm not going to shit on their character and say they ain't the real ones. But there's some fucking big bad wolves that'll huff and puff and blow your little white culo down. I'm telling you, if you were sold up with them, they's gonna fucks you. And that's just what it is. Hey, can I get some of that cornbread, Adam? I don't swing that way, but I do, brother. Right? And it's on. And I'm not saying the Crips get down like that. I'm just saying there's someone named Simon that's definitely sitting down right now saying, ooh, I love the way Adam wiggles, right? That's just it. Anyways, I just think this was crazy. Now, it just came to light, man, that Bricc Baby, did another video and he's talking about he's going to have vatos fucking, on standby and just dry snitching like a motherfucker, putting his homeboys on Front Street. I ain't even going to get to all that. I'm sure other fucking podcasters, other content creators are going to cover that quite extensively. All I got to say is this, and this is the last thing I'm going to say on this subject. When someone crashes out, someone is off their dome, right? And someone is just doing too much. It's your responsibility as their friend, as their boss, as their whatever, if they're doing it in your household, in your studio, because you are liable for whatever happens there, because you are no jumper, Adam. Ain't no doubt about it. It is up to you, man, to figure out that situation and calm that individual down. Not sit back and let the brothers do it, Oh, that's all right. You get involved in black business. That's a black thing. But you sure are recording it, bitch. I'm just saying. Anyways, with that being said, man, yes, Bricc Baby crashed out. It's on the internet. I watched the whole video, man. It's wild. I don't really know what he was saying besides 6-0 and Dead Homies, a gang of times. And I wouldn't repeat what he said anyways, because at the end of the day, man, it's just stirring the pot, just like Adam. And I ain't trying to do that. I'm just saying, man, let's look at it for what it is, man. You know, No Jumpers became a fucking shit show. They talk about, I used to be in a circus. That right there is bozo, homie, and we don't play that. You already know what it is. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. Get every single thing that you want, and remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the strive, the struggle, the struggle, the strive. I'm going to continue to do what I does. Again, man, respects to all those that are tapping in. I fucking highly appreciate it. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears this fucking fly-ass Cadillac crown. And I'm going to do what I does, man. And again, this is not to hate on anyone. This is just to speak real and say, damn, bro, some things are better left off the internet. Don't you agree? Bang, bang. Gun gang.